Greetings, fellow gamers. Mr. Gris here again with another Let's Play. Mist Survival Day by Day. 3 years ago, a mysterious thing happened. Many areas of the world were covered by a mysterious mist. Many people got sick and died. People who survived without immunity had side effects. They became something ferocious. They would turn maniac when they are touched by fog or found any other lives that could be their food, like human. The grammar is a little off on this, but you'll find that happens throughout the game. It is what it is. You have immunity and survived at the time. The camp where you lived is currently attacked by some creatures which you've never seen before. Anyway, blah blah blah. That's not important. Here we are in the game. Everybody starts off with basically the same stuff. There's, I think, 2 or 3, something like that, spawn areas that you can spawn into. So far, the ones I've spawned into have basically exactly the same stuff. They have a saw, a backpack upgrade, and a box with... One of them had an apple. One of them had... I think all of them have matches and that starting fuel or whatever. But yeah. Rocks are important at first. You want to grab at least 3 stacks of rocks, and I think they stack to 8. So you want to have at least 3 stacks of rocks. They'll come in handy later. Where I spawned in this one is on the farm. There's not much to this area. It's pretty vacant of everything that you can think of. This little hut area here has got some scrap metal and sody pop. But other than that, it's pretty useless. I mean, scrap metal is like gold in this game, so I mean, that's good. But not much else in the farm other than this. I think it's 2 or 3 large fields connected, and then there's a farmhouse, and then there's a separate barn, which we're going to now. Not much in here either. This is the barn that actually has something in it. The other 2 barns have absolutely nothing in them. It's an early access game though, so I'm to expect that. I'm sure they will be filled at some point, hopefully. But this one happened to have a few items, like that combat knife that I just picked up. Very handy to have, mind you. Also, a tire, because eventually you do get to drive a vehicle in this game. Also very important to note that you want to check every water tower, because so far that I've noticed, the only place that armor spawns is on the water tower. And as you'll see here, I have the helmet. I've never found a 100%. I don't know if you can make them later or if you can repair them later. So that's something I'll have to look into. But as far as I know, there is no 100% armor that I've found anyway. I've seen other people in game find them though. So I mean, maybe it's just a random RNG thing, but this is at the end of one of the fields. This is a very important spot because you get the gas can. Every single time I've spawned a new game, this gas can has been here. So, it's a good spot to come to. Get the gas can right away so you can start stockpiling gas as soon as you can, which happens to be the car right outside. Also, you'll see here in a moment, when we go to the hotel area, that is going to be where 95% of the car parts are. So yeah. This is my first mist of this playthrough. It's not all that bad because luckily I found a safe house. Now I call this a safe house and not a base because you cannot claim it. But it is 100% safe from attack. there is nothing that can get you in this base, or safe house, if you will. Because at this early stage, the bandits aren't even attacking. So they're not going to come at you. And the zombies are infected, or whatever you want to call them. They can't break through the windows. And they can't break through the door. So unless you're stupid and leave the door open, there's no way they can get in on you. It's a great place to start out. Also, it's important to note that you can sleep through most, I say most because sometimes they get loud and they wake you up, most of the mist. Because if they don't see you, they won't come and attack you. So as long as you're out of sight, you should be fine. Now that one zombie or infected just walked by the window, but it didn't notice me. So, sorry about that. Alright. Now here's where the game music gets muted. Or game stuff gets muted, and I put in some YouTube music. Just some background filler, because I'm sure you don't want to just listen to me talk all the time. And since you can't hear the birds chirping and the other stuff because the game noise is off, I figured you wanted to hear something. But yeah, these small shacks here are good to check out. You can claim this particular one, as well as many other small ones like this. I do not recommend using them as a base though, because they have open windows that you cannot really board up. I mean, you can, but I just don't suggest it. But these here you can harvest for materials. You can't harvest all of them that you see though. I've noticed that a lot in this game, where there'll be things that look the same as stuff you can harvest, but you can't harvest. So I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. But it is kind of annoying because you see something that looks identical to the thing you just harvested and you can't harvest it or pick it up. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. But also, if you drink any type of thirst quenching liquid, you also get your stamina back. Important to note if you're going to do a long run. Hammer is important to have. It's not a weapon, it is simply a tool. In order to use it, it just has to be in your inventory. It doesn't have to be in your hotbar. Along with the saw too, but I always put them in there just because I like my inventory for other stuff. Well, my backpack inventory anyway. I chose this as my first base area only because it has a car at the end of the driveway. And it's like, basically right next to the road. There is one down the road by the hotel a little bit farther that is right on the road. But it's a bit farther away from my spawn point, so I just wanted to get something close, ready to go. It's also important to note that all these little cabins and stuff you run across, you only want to search the outside of them because you'll find a lot of good loot there. And now, on to the hotel. To me, it's the most important area of the game, well, the beginning game anyway, because it has like 95% of your car parts. So, it's a good spot. These first two cars usually have some gas in it. Every now and then there'll be a spark plug or something like that in them, but usually just gas, some food, water usually, but not always. In this case, I guess there was drugs in that one. I don't usually grab the drugs because, well, I don't really see a point in them. They don't really do much. But yeah. Get the gas out of these cars and then go into the hotel. And that's where we'll find the rest of the car parts. Now you'll notice I did not go up on these water towers. It was a mistake on my part. I'm sure there's probably something up there that I missed. Which I'll more than likely be going back to that area and going up there just because I noticed I missed it. But I don't think I've seen anything up there before when I've been up there, but I'm not sure. Gears are also very important. They're a rare commodity. Two more tires, which brings my total to 3. And here's the 4th tire. So now we have 2 spark plugs, 4 tires, and a battery. And this has seriously been like 10 minutes of gameplay. Like actual, all the time put together gameplay. It's been like 10 minutes at this point. Maybe 15, but you get my point. I'd be willing to bet that if you pushed hard enough, you could get a fully working car in the first 10 minutes of gameplay, if you did it right. Now, I will say that you don't want to focus on that right away because the car system is good. I mean, it lets you get from one point to the other fast, obviously. And the way it turns is a little wonky, but like if you're not a very good driver with in this game and you crash into something, it sucks the durability and stuff out of your parts big time. So you got to be careful with that. Plus, I don't agree with the way that it runs down things. Like, the battery runs down, like, it has an alternator. It shouldn't, but yeah. I'm sure they did that just for a grindy aspect of the game. Yeah, 'cause you got to constantly be getting new batteries and new engines and stuff like that. But, whatever. I mean, it's not supposed to be a super realistic game, I don't think, but some things like that, just, you get one part, I can understand if you get into an accident, parts are going to get damaged, okay, that part I get. I agree with that, but I don't believe that the battery and the engine should wear down the way they do, because in a real car, you have an alternator for the battery, and the engine, the engine does wear and tear, but not as fast as this does. I suppose if you take into account that most cars have been sitting there for probably a year or 2 or longer because of the whole 3 years ago thing. But, I don't know. I would like to think that the engine would probably not be in that bad of a shape where, all you had to do to break it was to run it. But, engines have their troubles, so. Speaking of engines, just found this one. So now that is every single part I need for a fully working vehicle. And I have gas to boot. So I'm going to get back to my base, and of course, along the way, I have to run into a stinking bear. Which, they're scary, but you can beat them. You just gotta try to avoid that first attack, which I did not do. And then just stay behind them. Hit them about 5 or 6 times with the axe and they go down. Then it's just a matter of chopping them up and taking the meat, which takes in-game time too. Now, I need some sticks, I believe, here, so that's why I'm chopping at the trees. Sticks and bark. because I need to make a fire to cook that meat. Now you can also use the combat knife there, obviously, like you saw, and get a crap ton more bark. But that's all you get is bark. And I think you only get like 20 and then it stops giving it to you. But still, that's 2 stacks. That's pretty good. And then, poof, we have a campfire. And then, poof, we have a grill stand. And then cook the meat. And as you'll see here, it's very important to also pay attention to the fire and not do other stuff in the process, because that eats up game time, which makes the meat cook longer, faster. So yeah, I burned the meat, as you'll see here in a second. Figured I'd show that for demonstration purposes. But yeah, I've played this game a lot since it first came out, and I burn the meat probably half the time I cook it because, you know, it takes about, 45 seconds to a minute to fully cook. So I get distracted and I do other things. But yeah, you'll see here in a second that I burn it. Oops. But I think that is about it for this video. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you come back for the next one that I'll be putting out tomorrow. So, thanks and toodles. I'm out.